package, but this office, Benny, this office is a mess. Let's fix that right now. Alright, so now that I've taken my glasses off and totally ruined the whole shot continuity, let's do a box opening and let me show you why I'm kind of excited about this one. Okay, so now we're back to this. So this is what I'm mainly excited from that I just got from B&H. This is the Manfrotto, I forget what the model number is for this thing. Yeah, it's called the 323. Anyway, the reason why I'm excited for this tripod head, which by the way, it is just the tripod head, just the top piece. The reason why I'm super excited for this tripod head is because I want to switch to using that on my main vlogging camera on the SwitchPod instead of the tripod head, the tripod mount that I'm using. So in case you're not familiar, this is the SwitchPod. It's the newest thing that came out like a year ago via Kickstarter and stuff like that allows people like me who vlog and just film all over the place to quickly set up a tripod shot, be able to adjust the camera and do whatever is needed to be done quickly. Like that. So recently SwitchPod came out with their very own SwitchPod head, which so far is a really good tripod head. I enjoy it. The handle of it works really tight. It holds the camera firmly. And when I got it, it did not come with the tripod mount. The head comes bare, so it comes like this. It comes like this. That way you can either screw your camera on top of this or you can put whatever tripod mount you want on there. Since most of my photography landscape tripods are all what's called arca-swiss, which is this type of tripod mount where it tightens and just forces tightness on the camera. It just goes like this. So the plate would go on, you know, these narrow grooves and then just squeeze itself on there to hold the camera tight. This is what I normally use all the time to mount my photography cameras to the tripod, is the arca-swiss mount. However, the other day I dropped my camera and I wasn't happy about it. So here's what happened. It wasn't the fault of SwitchPod. It wasn't the fault of this Amazon arca-swiss mount I got. It wasn't the fault of the bracket or however I had it set up. Here's all that happened. I was in a hurry. I put the camera on the arca-swiss mount and tightened it, and then somehow or other it just wasn't all the way tight. It wasn't holding, basically friction, it wasn't holding it all the way tight and it loosened. And when I grabbed the whole camera thing, the camera had enough momentum because it was a heavier camera with a big lens, and it just slid straight out and it hit the floor. Fortunately, it was a wood floor, everything was okay. But it made me quickly reevaluate how I'm going to mount my camera in the future. So with that being said, let's talk about the Manfrotto mount and why I wanted to use this in conjunction with the SwitchPod and everything else I'm doing. So since I can use really any tripod mount with the tripod head of the SwitchPod, I wanted to use the Manfrotto tripod mount, which you just screw on just like that, for this simple reason. If you look at how the mount is designed, it has a two-part action. So it's not being held together because of one bracket being squeezed on there. It's held on there because there's this snapping mechanism and even a quick release button right here. So when this goes in here, see how it's grooved? If I can get in focus. When it goes in, it's in like a groove spot here, which is holding it. And then when it gets pressed down, watch this. You see how it quickly closes up? And yeah, I can still open it because this bottom latch isn't locked down, but when I squeeze this thing on tight and I lock this and I keep this camera in focus, this is not coming loose no matter what. That is why I wanted to use this setup with my vlog setup. So also really fun fact, as many of you know, I'm a Spider ambassador for Spider Holster, that camera company that has those really cool belts where the camera can connect to your belt and keep all that weight off your back. Yay! Spider holster. Spider makes this really cool accessory to add to their Spider plate, which is mounted to the bottom of your camera. And with this plate, it allows you to either have a arca-swiss or a Manfrotto mount. So it gives you the best of both worlds. And this is honestly what I use on my vlogging camera and what I use on my main camera. Right now this has an L bracket on here, and that's not normally what I use on my cameras. It just happens to be what's on this 1D right now. But in most cases I have my Spider plate attached to my camera, and I have this accessory from Spider connected to my Spider plate so I can mount my camera on tripods, as I often use tripods being a videographer and being a vlogger and being a landscape photographer, I'm always using tripods. So I use this one plate for most of my setups. And again, I can use the arca-swiss on one side, like so, and just go on here and connect an arca-swiss plate to it. Boom. Or I can use the Manfrotto plate there, and I can lock it down. And now this is not coming loose whatsoever. The camera is not coming off of this mount no matter what if everything's tight. I could literally have my camera dangling off the SwitchPod, hanging upside down, and feel comfortable with it. With an arca-swiss, I would not, because again, all it takes is just this screw to loosen up and your camera's falling off. There's no safety, there's no nothing. So with the Manfrotto connected to the spider holster, this makes it so my camera isn't going anywhere. So with that being said, let's try it out. So I have the spider plate attached to my camera, and I have the spider accessory, which to be specific, this is the Spider RC2, which allows you to have arca-swiss as well as the Manfrotto plate on here. And this is how I attach it to the Manfrotto plate, which is currently on the SwitchPod. So to attach this really quickly, all I do is click, click, it attaches, and then I just push this lever down and close the safety latch. That's it. This isn't going anywhere. Like, it's not. So there, check this out. It's not going anywhere. This thing is locked down. It has the safety latch, which I could release up like this, or I could keep it down, but the camera is not falling off of this no matter what. This is a heavy camera, so can it come loose if it unscrews here? Yeah, that's obvious, but if everything's tight, like I said, I'm obviously not going to be shaking the camera like I just was dramatically. The camera is not going to loosen and fall off the plate. That's the most important thing. So when I'm vlogging, I know that this isn't potentially going to fall off and hit the ground, or like let's say I was just walking to my next spot and holding the camera like this, I know that the camera isn't going to fall off of this, because this is a $6,000 camera body, this is a $1,400 lens. I don't want this to fall and hit the ground, and that's why I want to use this tripod plate. So anyway, that is why I decided to update my tripod plate to this Manfrotto style, and I am really looking forward to using this again in the future. If you're interested in any of the equipment that I use in this video, or what that spider plate was, so I could use both arca-swiss as well as Manfrotto, I'll put that in the comment section below. But as always, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you on the next video. Later.